Many Italian Americans are passionate about keeping their family traditions alive, and our next guest is no exception. In her soon-to-be-released book, Slices of Life, Italian American Stories, Joanna Leone shares these special memories that are locked in people's hearts. Joanna, I want to thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here in this lovely city and this great studio. Everybody's so friendly.
Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself.
No,
Let's talk about the book. It's soon to be released.
Absolutely.
And it is, you've compiled stories about yourself, other people. Talk to me what you're going to find in the book.
Well, basically, it is soon to be released. We're looking at late March or early April, but in the meantime, a lot of my stories have been published in Primo magazine, the Italian American Tribune, and a couple of other Italian American publications. Also, you can look up some of my stories on my website. I have my own website where you can read about myself as well as the memories that I've written about throughout the Northeast.
Now, is it, it's not just stories about yourself. Other families are involved in this also.
Yes, correct. It started out with stories about my own family and memories, and then it branched out into travel stories. I had traveled through southern Italy quite a bit, and I had the opportunity to sit on the balcony and write about the things that I saw, sitting, having cappuccino with people and hearing about their special memories. And then it branched out into writing about other people's memories. So really, I'm a memory writer. They are all true stories, and all of the people that I've written about were so excited about it. They just wanted a coffee shop or a restaurant to go to talk about what was in their hearts.
Well, I think Italian Americans are very proud. I know that they are in my family, and they kind of enjoy sharing their stories. Is that what you found?
Oh, absolutely. They are passionate and proud, not just because of the celebrations that they have with their family, but it goes back to the struggles and hardships that people had. For example, my parents, Antonetta and Donato Leone, actually came to America on a ship called the Saturnia in the late 1940s. I think it was about 1948. And
I think we're looking at them right now, Joanna. Is that on the screen?
Right. Those are my grandparents. That's my father to the far left, and my godparents. That's my grandfather, Antonio, and that's my sister, Susan, and my brother escorting her down the aisle. Sure. That's Uncle Tony on the left. Everybody has an Uncle Tony.
Everyone totally has an Uncle Tony.
My Uncle Tony had the suit because he was an engineer.
Okay.
He lived in Danbury. My dad always had work clothes on because he was a well-known stonemason. Those are my mother's parents. Now, the guy to the far left, well, we kind of skipped him, but his name was Biancolini. He was the guy who drove us to the airport. Every American knows some Italian that will pick you up and bring you back and forth.
Isn't that the truth?
That's my mother when she was about 19 years old in a tiny town called San Donato Val di Comino.
And where is that?
It's about, to keep it simple, it's about 2 hours south of Rome, north of Naples. If you're looking at the boot, it's right in the middle. We are surrounded by beautiful green mountains, the campagna, or farmland.
Sure.
My family consists of farmers, skilled laborers. On my mother's side, however, there were a lot of artists, especially my uncle, Rocco, who was a well-known architect and painter from Fairfield County.
How fascinating.
Yes.
You have the opportunity to share these stories.
Yes.
Now, I want to mention this started at a very young age, you keeping track of all of these stories.
Yes, it all started with an orange notebook, a spiral notebook when I was 13. And I used to like to write stories after everybody would go home.
After it was quiet?
Yes.
The calm after the storm?
Yeah, and that was usually around 2 o'clock in the morning because once Italians sit down,
they never leave.
They never leave. And I would write something, I would write about something funny that my father said, or I would write a story about something that I was feeling, depending on what type of celebration it was. Then, as I started getting older and I traveled more to Italy to connect more with my roots, I started writing really cute and true travel stories, just funny, silly things that happened to me during my travels in southern Italy. And a couple of friends of mine said, "You write so well." You know, I try to write in a way where you feel like you're there. Like you're in the story with vivid details and descriptions. And basically I said, you know, I'm going to give it a shot. I guess I will try to write about other people, but I didn't think a lot of people would be interested in that. I just thought people are busy, they wouldn't want to meet with me. So I started out with friends of the family, and then they led me to other people. Hey, you should sit and talk to this guy or that guy.
Well, people love sharing their stories, I think.
Oh, and Italians could talk nonstop.
Sure.
I mean, and they're very comfortable in speaking. But basically, I had very simple rules.
Okay.
I only asked maybe 2 questions, and then I stopped, because once you ask 2 or 3 questions, a person will automatically gravitate towards whatever is in their heart anyway. So I kind of would get a couple of opening questions in there, and no matter what story a person had, the common bond between all age groups and all the stories is that it comes down to a few basic things: love, devotion, family, and traditions. I have interviewed and written about people in their late 20s all the way up until their 90s or 100. And their stories and experiences are different, but there's always that bond that keeps everybody together.
Right?
Yes, the family bond, the love, the devotion, even how people took care of each other during times of illness. One of my favorite stories that I wrote about, though, especially since now it's so close to Valentine's Day, I had written something called the Italian-American Serenade, or Le Serenata. It was about an evening that I spent in the piazza in Italy. And I heard my friends calling me, Giovanna, Giovanna, and I'm thinking, oh, I wonder what's going on tonight. And they had invited me to Le Serenata, which is a serenade in which the man serenades the bride-to-be. It is a tradition that actually goes back to the medieval times. But modern-day people, I mean, the man is an investment banker, and there he was with the guitar over his shoulder, carrying red roses under her balcony. And it was such a cool experience. And
you witnessed all this, correct?
I witnessed it all, and I wrote about it. And the one thing I remember in the story is, I thought to myself, what am I going to wear to a serenade? I'm always worried about
what did you wear? That's
what
a great question.
Red halter top. That's the best thing I could tell you. Whenever you're on vacation, there's something about the color red, romance, and platform sandals. I was good to go with that. And we all, there was like maybe half of the town there. We all walked through the town in like a procession, and all the light blue mopeds that the teenagers were driving kind of stopped for us. They moved to the side and they let us pass. The elderly women were sitting up on their balconies waving at us and, you know, clapping. It was just such a great tradition.
Sounds wonderful. I can picture it right now.
Oh, exactly. And then as soon as he got there, he serenaded her. It's a traditional song by a singer called Massimo Ranieri. He sang a song called Rose Rose, which is Red Roses. And we had a great celebration afterward. And I realized at that moment that romance and the whole traditional celebrations around it are still alive in modern day times.
You know, I could keep talking to you all morning long, but unfortunately we are out of time. We want to thank you so much for being here. And if you want to get in touch with Joanna, we'll have a link on our website. You just go to WTNH.com and click on Connecticut Style. Stay with us. We're going to be